Sup guys, my name is Justin, joined with Nate.
What's up, everybody?
And today we're going to be explaining to you why Captain Rex, not the Bad Batch version, specifically number 59 from the Red and Black box, is a Black Series banger. It is a top 10 of all time for us, and it is just near perfection. This figure was a godsend at the time for a few different reasons.
Almost unbelievable.
Yes. You can go back and watch our content back in 2015, 2016. Maybe don't.
Please don't.
Maybe don't. But if you did, you'll know how desperate we were for Clone Wars stuff. And our mentality was they are never going to do Clone Wars figures. And if they ever do a Captain Rex, it will be his Rebels appearance because it's like a Disney show.
Right.
Well, at least to get a Rebels style appearance from him in the line.
But when I wrote the list, I specifically put Clone Wars version, even though it probably won't happen. But this is a wish list. Because, you know, Phase 2 Clone Troopers are one of the coolest trooper designs out of the whole saga.
Yeah.
So, I mean, having Phase 2 Rex would be awesome. This figure came out, and it was just so surprising. And the second reason this was a godsend was it was an update to the Clone Trooper body.
Right. Yeah, this was totally unexpected. I don't think any of us really paid that close attention to Rex to realize that really all they did to update the body was do a little cutout on the elbow. But with that, the double elbow actually somewhat works on this trooper's body, whereas before, you know, the old, you were lucky to get 90.
Right, and I remember back in the day, I remember you and I both going, why don't they just cut this plastic out on the inner elbow? Because they had double joints that you could not utilize, and Rex can. Being one of the older style clone troopers, this is one of those figures that is purely from animation that was put through the if this existed in live action filter, kind of like Wolf and Fox. So they have excellent proportions. The body sculpt on this guy is amazing. It is a perfect looking clone trooper proportion wise and paint wise.
Yeah. This is definitely some of the best weathering that we've ever seen from Hasbro. Almost on the same level as the beloved Sand Trooper.
True. But it didn't need to be as grimy either.
It didn't, but the weathering that they did do just made it look awesome. And again, it brought it more into like the if Rex was real you know, thing that the Black Series used to do. There's tons of weathering specifically on the belt and in the legs and even on the helmet, and it's just so nicely done. It's subtle, it looks really good, and it doesn't, you know, essentially look like poop like some other figures that get weathered.
This was back when the weathering was subtle and it was actual like paint in a more traditional sense.
Right.
Because they started to do weathering via the photoreal like inkjet dots, which sucks.
Right, because you can see the dots clearly, and most of the time it ends up looking like, you know, it's like a little decal that's been put on the figure, or, you know, like the Remnant Stormtrooper looks like a toasted marshmallow.
Absolutely. His head sculpt, amazing.
That is true. This was a figure that initially actually had a non-photoreal release.
The HasCon version.
The HasCon exclusive, which came with all the blasters.
True.
Which this one doesn't. But who really cares? You get the blast. You get his 2 blasters.
Yeah.
But then the standard version, photoreal had come out by then, so they were like, boom, we're just gonna do photoreal on this one.
Best Tem likeness ever?
One and done on this. The first photoreal Tem they did turned out to be the very best.
Wolf is pretty great.
Yeah, I think even like, you know, Jesse, which is funny to say because it's like all the clones look like Tem, but then all the Boba Fett's don't really look like Tem.
Yeah, but Captain Rex just has a perfect head sculpt and photoreal. The bleach blonde hair, amazing.
Back then, the matte spray was applied to the face.
The factory never missed the note back in those days.
So a really amazing head sculpt, especially at the time. Like this was crazy to see something that looked this good. The Black Series like took a literal light year jump in quality when they started doing photoreal.
The only drawback to this figure, which is simply a product of its time, if you even want to call it a drawback, but it is the fact that it's double jointed as opposed to the deep cut single hinges, so you do have pins on this figure. But even to this day, this figure more than holds up, and I do not care.
Yeah, I think this is a figure that, obviously because it's insanely expensive, needs a re-release, but this is a figure that I would be fine if this was just the re-release, because this is a really solid representation of Rex. You know, the posability is there. It's a little clunky, but it's there. The likeness is fantastic, and there's no way that if they did a new Rex, A, it would have any weathering on it, and B, if it did have weathering on it, it definitely wouldn't look like this.
And it probably wouldn't have a soft goods comma either.
Yeah, true, because they have moved on to the soft plastic, which I do miss this. I will say.
I prefer the soft. The helmet is great. The shade of blue is great. I like the copper-ish lining detail. I know some people kind of hate on it. It's also so much better than the Bad Batch figure. It's not even funny.
Right. The Bad Batch figure is the same sculpt, but somehow they just managed to make it like...
Well, it's Poop Troop.
Right. Right. But it's like made out of like a different plastic.
True. It's the cake frosting plastic. This is the higher quality plastic, not the cake frosting plastic of Bad Batch Rex. Bad Batch Rex, also Poop Troop. This is just a masterpiece of a figure, honestly.
Yeah, this is one of those figures that I think can be considered with like the Scout Trooper, where no matter how much time has gone on, they just are really solid figures. Like, yeah, you could do some improvements. Like, would I love to see a trigger finger on the left arm? Yes. Would I like to see butters? Yes. But I just know that when we do... If we do eventually get that version of Rex, I still won't like it as much as this one.
Right.
This one just, it's always going to hit different. Number 59 hits different.
Number 59. It's like one of the only from the red and black box that I know the number by heart.
Yeah, exactly.
So you know it's a banger. And at the end of the day, that is precisely why Captain Rex is a Black Series banger.
So good.
And if you don't agree, you're just dead wrong. Thank you guys so much for checking out this Black Series banger. Check out the playlist for all of our bangers and blunders. I know we have an idea for a blunder, and your hint is toilet paper.
Ooh. We all know everyone loves the hints. So toilet paper. What could it be?
Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, share, join the channel membership. Link in the description. It's the #1 way to support us. But if not, totally fine. Just like, subscribe, and stick around. I'm Justin, joined with Nate.
See you guys later.
Will you ever not mimic my outro when I'm hosting?
I don't know what else to do. I don't have my own co-host gimmick.
We will see you in the next video. Thank you guys so much for checking out this Black Series banger. Check out our other... I'm Justin, joined with Nate.
What do you normally say?